hear a woodpecker. Whoa. Oh, I missed him. Well, we're out for a walk. No bikes today. Thought we'd go on a bit of a longer walk with the pooch. Going from home up to our favourite spot, Painswick Beacon. See what we can find on the way. A bit mucky though. Yeah, the woodpecker up there somewhere, tapping away. Hear him? Yeah, we thought for a change we'll walk up, a bit of a longer walk, and see what we can see on the way. It's a Monday morning. I think it's the 4th of March already. Of course it's going to be, we're going to have a rather mucky dog by the time we get home, I think. Oh yeah? Is she going to get across? She's not, is she? I'm going to have to lift her. Right, give me a minute. So yes, we're in a place called Upton St Leonards. Just coming out of it actually. Up towards, heading towards Primish Abbey. And there's a few little footpaths across the fields there to cut out the road. We thought we'd walk up today rather than drive. Give somebody a bit more of a walk. I think we're supposed to get rain later this afternoon, but at the moment it is lovely. Well, we've just had to negotiate, and some guys who owns the farm, he's a bit of a nasty piece of work, but he shut all the footpath off. So it might be a case, we used to cycle down this way here for years and years, and then he's blocked it off, put a private entrance, put a gate and blocked it so you can't come this way anymore. It's not an official bridleway or anything, it isn't, you know, it's not a legal route, but then we have ridden it for years. But for walking you can't seem to be able to find a footpath. There's signs to footpaths but it's all blocked off. So I think it's a case of having a word with the rights of way officer for this area and try and find out what's going on. If you ever do find blocked bridleways or footpaths, that's the way to go. Go to your rights of way officer and just report it. Because, and also you need to use these places, these rights of way, because they will go if you don't keep using them. Anyway, a bit of fun. Yeah, the footpath apparently comes out of there, but it's all got electric fences blocking it off down that way. Oh, I see. So we'll have to maybe walk back that way and just see how if we can get out. Cool. Bit of excitement. So some of you may know I've been doing a bit about health. Obviously my health issues has made me think about these things, and I've been especially concentrating on people sort of my age, sort of 50 up, and about food and diet and all the rest of it, because obviously I want to keep doing what I'm doing, and I see the results of other people's lifestyles. Even though they're cyclists or they're whatever, they suffer the same sort of problems with heart and whatever, and weight control. And one of the things I have discovered is exercise. When you get older, you need to do a much slower pace exercise, not push yourself. It's not a good idea to max out all the time. You might think it's no pain no gain, but when you get older it's not. You need to do, you can still go out and ride, you can still go out and do all the things you want to do, but you don't go at full bore all the time. You need to do sort of the 80-20 So 20% hard, just to give yourself a bit of a boost, push your heart a bit, but then the rest of the time, the 80% of your riding or your walking or whatever you're doing should be done at a leisurely pace like I'm doing now. So whatever it is, if it's cycling, the secret is to be able to, if you can talk whilst you're cycling, then you're about the right pace. And it's quite important, because what happens is if you overstress yourself as you get older, you get a calcification of the veins around your body, and this is what causes all the health issues, heart attacks and things, because your veins get less elastic and get calcium deposits and whatever stick to the side of your veins, and then you end up getting heart problems. But if you take life at a gentle, steady pace, still keep active, you don't get this problem, or you certainly get a lot less. And then obviously there is diet. So I've been talking about diet a lot lately. But there you go. And then the other thing is no stress. Obviously if you're working it's quite difficult to avoid it, but yeah, especially if you work for yourself, being self-employed is quite stressful. I found the way to sort of help is to offload. Try not to do everything yourself. Do what you're good at. If you're not good at something, let someone else do it for you. I'm hopeless with keeping records and bookkeeping and just keeping things organised. I'm not an organised person. I'm a creative person, so I can come up with ideas and I can make things happen physically very well, very good at that. But when it comes to recording the cost and the keeping track of admin, I am hopeless. I can do it simply, but I'm not very good at intricate spreadsheets and all the rest of it. Each to their own, I say. Try not to do everything. Some people say, oh, you can do anything if you put your mind to it. That's not true. That is not true. You can do like challenges, I guess, but we all have our own abilities and we all have our things we're good at. Everyone's clever. We're all clever. You know, a lot of people, you'll say, oh, this person's been to this university and he's very intelligent and super clever, but you'll find, like I've experienced, we've had people come in, like professors come in my bike shop, and they'll say, oh, I've got a broken wheel, and you look at the bike and it's got a puncture, and he doesn't know that it's a puncture. He thinks it's the whole wheel's broken, but he doesn't know how to change an inner tube. You know, he's this super intelligent person, can't change an inner tube on a bike, which is the simplest thing going. But that's just one example, you know, of people being able to do various things. He can do things I can't do, and vice versa. That's why we all use each other's skills. So saying you can do anything if you put your mind to it is not actually true at all. Anyway, let's keep walking. There you can see the pond. This used to be really beautifully maintained, and there was all kinds of animals here, peacocks and deer and lots of wildlife, fish. I guess the fish are still there, but nothing's managed anymore. Yeah, I used to come past here on the bike and you hear the peacocks, and they heard you coming. Never mind. What can you do, eh? Yeah, this is all left empty as well. This was all built by the lady who ran the deer park. She invested quite a lot of time and money in this. So she built this cabin, put a cafe in it. Lovely. It's really good. And now it's just left to rot. What a waste. What a waste. Someone could live in that. Yeah. It's a real shame. Got a bit of an orchard. It's one of the few bits that does get looked after. There's a walled garden over there that the monks use in the monastery. That still gets looked after, I guess. There's a lot of trees. There used to be a hedge along here. All the trees are gone. And the abbey's up that way. There's a cafe and gift shop to do with the monastery, but it's very basic. Not very welcoming. The last time we went in there it wasn't too clever, was it? No. It was like going in the school canteen. I think they make perfume, or I used to see sign for perfume down there at St Bridget's and St Gabriels, it says. So it must be another little part of the monastery. Not sure who lives there or what. I've just seen the might be admin or something. Just seen Landrover come out with a, looks like a maintenance chap. What's started to grow already? I suppose it is just into March, so I suppose we're going to expect it now. I see some sprouted wild garlic popping up. Original monastery. What are they?
Benedictine monks.
Benedictine monks. So that's the only bit that's still being used. It's a smaller monastery there, which is a bit of a no-go now. Well, you can go there to worship. There's a chapel if you're that way inclined, and you quite often see cars going there on a Sunday. This is a regular ride up this. Not sure if you can see how steep this is, but I've filmed myself going up here a few times, but it is pretty steep. Bit of a test on the lungs. And the monastery graveyards up here, which always feels a bit awkward to ride through, but you have no choice, or walk through. Yeah, it is a footpath, yeah. We used to go round it, but they've blocked it off. No, we used to go round down to the monastery, but you can't anymore. So you've got cremations there and burials here. Look at this. For instance, Edna Doreen Maitland, age 103. Crikey. And some people live to a ripe old age, 81, 102. They all live to a good age, 81, 75, 82. There's lots of people in their 80s. So it must be a, whatever it is, a healthy lifestyle. Well, there's ladies here, so whether they were nuns or, I don't really know. I should look it up really and find out a bit more information about it. Age 48, just see what it's 81. Benedictine. Ernest Benedict Davis. 74. I'm pretty sure they're mainly monks and people from the monastery anyway. And these died back in the 60s. Yeah. Oh, a tap. Oh, that's handy to know. If you're ever out riding and you need a drink, there's a tap. I never knew that was there. That is really handy to know come hot weather if you're really stuck. So Prinish Abbey and the graveyard's got a tap. Very often find, I was told that by Andy Deacon, that if you're ever stuck for water, just go to a church, because there'll always be a tap by a church to water flowers. So yeah, this is what I was saying, the monastery, that used to be the old way down, and they shut it off. Monastery enclosure, strictly private, use footpath through cemetery, which always seemed a little bit odd, but that's what they want, that's what they want. Right, catch you in a bit. We're going up to the beacon now. Just remembered, we used to do a no pedalling challenge from here, or from the top of this path, all the way down to the road at the bottom where we've walked up. Not allowed to pedal all the way to the bottom, so you can make it quickest. This can be done. And we used to start up here, just about to get to some steps, and we came down. The steps didn't used to be there, just a steep bank, and we used to ride down it, and at the bottom was a, little did we know, was a hornet's nest, and we rode straight into it, and one of the lads fell off, and we couldn't get his bike. It was surrounded by hornets, so we just had to brave it and rush in and get the bike and drag it out. A few of us got stung. Yeah, never forget that. Just up along here. Yeah, this is where it was. The hornet's nest was just here, and we, before these steps, we just ran straight into it. I think it was on an evening ride, so it was dark, I think. But, yeah, we're all trying to get the bike back. Yeah, they put steps in here now, so you can't ride it anymore, but never mind. So we've just crossed the road from the Abbey, and we've just gone up onto the beacon. You've got this is Buckholt Wood. The thing that really pees me off is this. Pees everybody off, but look at it. It's all kids. Just kids who park up here and just sling all their shit. Why? Honestly. I thought the kids were supposed to be the environmental ones these days. Anyway, love these woods. Well, I've built quite a few trails in here. Ridden here for 30, nearly 35, 36 years. And if you come to Fat Fest or any of my rides, it'll include some of the trails in here. And the old Royal William pub is up the top here, which is now shut. I think is no more. Not sure what's going to happen to it. But, yeah, great woods. A few downhill tracks up the top. Top of there's a little area on the very top, and it's called the Magic Roundabout. Well, that's what we call it, because there's trails going off in all different directions off the top of it. And I guess it still gets used a lot. I don't really ride that stuff anymore, just because I'm too old and fragile. But there's plenty of kids up here on e-bikes, I think, riding it. I see quite a lot of e-bikers around here, because the modern cyclists can't ride uphill anymore, or don't want to, so e-bikes have taken over, which is fair enough. I suppose it's progress in some people's eyes, not in mine. Let us continue. Spring is definitely in the air. It's quite nice to walk up. We normally drive up here because we're just a bit limited on time, but today we thought, no, leave the car at home. We'll walk up. It's about a 3-hour loop, and then we've got to nip to our grandson's house and feed his dog, let it out. He's got a little puppy called Winnie the Pug, not Winnie the Pooh. And then walk home. So it'd be quite a big loop, probably about 8 or 9 miles, which makes a change. Probably will get wet, but who cares? Look at all these cars. It's quite nice to walk up. You just need a bit more time, obviously. If you haven't got time, it's difficult to get up here quick enough, because the important bit is up on here, the feel good field. It does make you feel good. You cannot beat the countryside. Where, I don't know, obviously some people live in cities, so it's very difficult. But if you can get into a park or anywhere where there's some nature, if you can do that every day, it's worth its weight in It's worth its effort, I should say. The local conservation group's been chopping down so many trees. Not quite sure why they have to, but all this used to be woods. And they've just chopped a lot down and burnt it. It seems a bit wrong to me. Not sure why they have to burn it all. The one chap did say that if they didn't burn it, it made the ground too fertile because it would rot away. But in my eyes, it's natural. It just rots into the ground and keeps the carbon in the ground rather than burning it and releasing it into the atmosphere. But, who am I? Conservation officer apparently know more about it than me. Painswick Beacon. Restoration project. Quite sure it needs to be restored. But there you go. Yeah, there is a hill fort. I've talked about it before. The hill fort on the top, the Kimberley, for 400 BC to 43 AD. So it's been up here a long time. Danger golf course. Yeah, it's common land this, so there's cyclists, walkers, golfers, all have access to it. And it's quite interesting of a weekend when it's busy, because you have obviously a lot of everybody, a lot of walkers, a lot of golfers. We come up here every day, so there's sort of an etiquette. You get to know if someone's teeing off or hitting the ball in your direction, just stay out of the way for a minute. But on a weekend, it's how people don't get hit with a ball, I have no idea. Because they're all it's a crazy golf course as well, because it's very small, but you cannot see any of the greens. It's very hilly. Being a fort, there's lots of battlements, and so even though apparently the golfers say it's listed as one of the easiest courses in the country because it's so short, the tees are short, it's actually one of the hardest to play, because like I say, you cannot see any of the greens. Or like there's a green down there, and then where do you go? Some are up here. There's a pole in the middle there to give you a guide. And also you're hitting towards each other, so you have golfers teeing this way and then golfers teeing that way at the same time, and they can't see each other, so it's all good fun. Well, if you don't know where I am now, you never will. This is Painswick Beacon golf course. That's where we always go every day, and so we've made it to the top. It's quite nice to walk up, I must admit. We've walked up a few times years ago, but not that often. So I just wanted to give the car a rest for a bit. Just get fed up using the car for all these little trips. Plus this little pooch gets a longer walk. Because very often we'll come up and start a walk, go back to the car, she just doesn't want to get in, it's too short. You think with those little legs, you only want to do a short. But you've done 4 miles already and you're still full of beans. Yeah, we got up in the Lake District walking and she's fine. She'll do 10 miles, 10 or 12 miles. It's a strong little thing, built like a tank, aren't you? Say, this used to be an Iron Age fort, so the battlement, which you can see on the top there, used to go all the way around here. And there's a little bit of it left there, and then all this was quarried out. All this here used to be flat, now obviously it's been quarried. So it's not quite as it was. The middle area was... There's an aerial picture of it, which I've put up before on one of my videos, which shows the boundary and the bit in the middle. But can you imagine living... used to live here, in this fort. Like a village. Just a walled village, basically. Yeah. Yeah. Seems odd having no bike. Here we are. The top. like a helicopter or the thunder of a Chinook. Sounds like. I don't know where it is, somewhere in the distance. I reckon it's really low. Yeah, can't see it yet. In loving memory of Mike Stumpy Winnell on Madam's Wood.
Go on then, quick, let's have a drink then.
Look at that cup. You sure that's big enough?
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm.
I always carry a couple of these little seats. These are really handy, compact, comfy. Just squashes up and you stick it in your backpack or whatever, but they're great for sitting on. It's quite warm sat on this. Got one each and take it everywhere we go. Just keeps your bum dry and warm when you walk, when you're out and about. Just the job. Right, baby? A bit muddy. I was just saying, if this was fat bikes, this would be flat. That's what we need to here, is an army of a whole posse of fat bikes to ride through this and flatten it down. You don't sink. You just roll it. Great. Yeah, it could be a little bit muddy in a minute. I rode up here the other day and it's just absolute quagmire where the horses churned it up. But fingers crossed, it's dried out a bit. That's the road from Gloucester to Painswick there. Yes, it's muddy. We'll try and avoid the road if we can. It's very busy. It should be alright.
Come on, follow Mummy. Follow Mummy. That's not too bad. It's not sinky.
Come on, BB. It's just for you, look. Only allow slow dogs and children down here.
Yeah,
Do we qualify? I suppose you qualify as a child. Not sure I do. Come on, BB. Got a bit of a type mark going on. It's funny, you know, she cleans herself. She'll be, well, by the time we get home, she'll probably be almost clean.
Yeah,
It's just, we never wash her with any dog wash detergent or shampoo. We just use water, and just never wash your dog in hot water or warm water because they don't like it. You might think they do because we're humans and we're soft, but they're not, because they'll happily jump in a lake of freezing cold water and not bat an eyelid. So we wash her in cold water, in as much as we got a tub that we stand her in, and we just wash her belly and her legs because that's the only bit that really gets dirty. And never use shampoo, because if you do, they start to smell. And she doesn't smell at all because she's never ever been washed, bar her legs and her tummy, in just plain water. There's so much stuff for dogs now because we're treating dogs like humans. Clothes. I better stop. Go on about dogs. Dog coats. Stupid. Anyway. Yeah, another rant about something. Right, this is the top of Watery Lane. So a bit of road. That's the top Painswick to Gloucester Road, and then this is the favourite run down home. There's a bit of a horsey stables here, and then just by this gate to the left there's a start of a track bridleway that runs all the way to the bottom and up to St Leonards where we started this morning. and it's a fantastic run down. It's quite handy to send someone down first just to make sure, because we've gone down here flat out and come face to face with horses, so you can. And we chased a badger as well one night in the dark. It was just running in front of us and just wouldn't get out of the way. It just kept going. But, yeah, it's a good run down. It's quite loose and stony, and it's the one I ride up. I ride up this mainly. I don't know if you've seen a few videos I've done lately. I rode up this, so you can see how rough it is. This is the roughest bit just here. It's a great downhill. You can see why this track's called Watery Lane. It's just a river. When it's really raining, this is great fun to ride up and down. I do love riding it when it's wet, especially when it's pouring rain and it's just a river. If you've seen my videos, you'll probably see me riding up and down little streams and rivers. I'm like a 2-year-old. Brings out the kid in me. And it just about dries up in the summer sometimes, not always. It's not often it's bone dry. Yeah, I did a recent video and there was a tree across. I think it's along here somewhere. Yeah. Looks like they cleared it, unless we haven't got to it yet. Yeah, I remember years ago when we had the track at Cranham, we drove up this all the way to the top in the Landrover. Can be done, as long as you don't mind scratching your paintwork. It was an old banger of a Landrover. It's not very eco though, is it? Not really something, sort of thing I do anymore. I know others would, but not me. Look at that, the wild garlic sprouting up. It's coming. Soon be able to smell it. I don't know if it smells yet. Oh, it does. You can smell it. Cool, lovely. Cool. I love the smell of wild garlic. Gosh, it really does. Quite strong. Cool, you want to smell that? The smell of garlic's really strong. We'll have to pick some of that. That's something else we want to have a go at. We've got a book on foraging, and we need to start foraging, because all of this stuff, half of it you can eat. Instead of going into the supermarket and buying a bag which contains the same thing, you might just go out and forage and get it yourself. All kinds of things you can eat. Oh, she's cleaning herself up. Some sheeps. Hello, sheeps. Brr. It's a good thing about BB, she does not interested at all in sheep. Not an iota. Tends to run away from them, which is good. So here's running with water. Thankfully I've got waterproof socks on. Because these boots, these shoes, not boots, these trainers are not waterproof at all. But with waterproof socks, got some Dell waterproofs. The feet are lovely and toasty. Well, it really is wet, isn't it? Yeah, you smell that, those garlic leaves. God, it really lovely. Yeah, you can use the leaves, yeah.
Oh, that's what we ought to do.
Yeah.
I like garlic, I just don't like it on my breath.
Oh, don't worry about that, you can't smell it.
Yeah, but I don't like other people smelling it on my breath.
Everyone's, it's so common now. No one bats an eyelid about garlic breath.
I go, oh.
Do you like garlic breath? It's not a great smell, but I used to work with someone who that's all he did was that he had garlic and chilies and everything every day. He had a wife, she was Thai, so he had Thai curries every night. My Christ, he could melt he could melt plastic from 3 feet. His breath. That. It's coming. I'm just saying, look at it. What a beautiful day. We're definitely going to do this more often. Sheila used to run this. Used to run up and run down. But we're definitely going to walk more and leave the car at home, I think. Just make time. And we can watch the seasons change. That's really good. If you go walking, you can see stuff like these little things sprouting. Next time we come, they'll be that little bit longer. And it's great. I just love. This is the best time of the year now. I say it every year. Early spring is wonderful. Seeing everything waking up. Although we haven't really had a winter to speak of. About a week, I think. Because there is talk of trees and things not being able to produce a lot of fruit in the coming year because they don't get a chance to rest and recover from the growing season. It's supposed to have a winter of rest and the tree gets ready to produce fruit and stuff for the following year. So it'll be interesting to see. I know last year, 2023, we had tons of fruit. I can't have something like it. It's warm and wet, so it's really growing. Becoming a country, the UK is becoming a country where you can grow things that would used to be grown in Spain and France, and because the climate's warming, you can now grow it here. Vineyards, and I wonder how long before we're growing olives, oranges and that sort of thing, orange groves. Things that can stand a lot of water in the winter and heat in the summer, because winters are definitely going to be wetter now. Right, nearly at the bottom. Should hit the tarmac in a bit. There's a really cool house that's been built down here. I'll show you in a minute. And this has been built over the last 10 years, I suppose. Just look at it. Surprised it's not been on Grand Designs. Started up there. There used to be an old stone house here, and they've knocked that down and built that in the garden. They've got like a cottage garden area here, and then the rest of it's lawn. It's a hell of a place. Yeah, lovely place to live. But we're not far away. We go past here all the time. If you want a bit of gym, a bit of workout, there's a garden gym. On another topic related to what I'm doing, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I used to have Vivo barefoot shoes shaped like your foot, and I did a review on them and I loved them, but the waterproofness went, and I looked around at other shoes. In the meantime, I wanted to do something where I was a bit more of a running come lightweight walking shoe, but with the same principle, same shaped foot shoe. So I bought these Ultras. It's a brand called Ultra, and they are incredibly comfortable. They're still flat, there's no build up on the heel, so your sole's flat to the ground, which I love, but they've got a lot more cushioning under the sole, and they're made for trail running, so they're super grippy, very light, not waterproof obviously, hence I've got my waterproof socks on, but I'll put a little picture of them so you can see what they are. But they do make a waterproof boot, which I am contemplating getting, but you need to try them on, and thankfully Ultras can be bought in a shop, so you can go and try them on. There's a really good shop in Cheltenham, Runners Needs, I think. I don't know, I'll put a link to the shop. It's really great shop. I think it's Runners Needs, and Lower High Street in Cheltenham. And they stock everything running wise, and hopefully they can get in these other boots, which I want to try because they're waterproof. But, yeah, I often wonder whether this is drinkable. There's water that runs out of this hill, all the time. It permanently runs out of the hill. I do wonder whether that's drinkable. But I guess, I know, looking at that, probably not. Somewhere else they could get water. Actually thinking about it, there's a stable up there, so it's probably not drinkable. There's animals, stables. But, certainly somewhere you could get water, put some filtration, filter it and drink it. So we're coming to the bottom of Watery Lane now. Not quite up the road yet. Actually, yes, that's the end there, where the 30 sign is. And here we are, backing up to St Leonards. Just got to nip round to see our grandson's dog, as I mentioned, and then we'll be off home for some lunch.